yesterday, there was also some massive news regarding one of the biggest stars in the sport, Conor McGregor. Uh, his his lawsuit, as he's facing a civil lawsuit, his trial had kicked off at Dublin's High Court on Tuesday. And this is a story that has been brewing for quite some time, and it finally kicked off. And wanted to see how day one played out. Day one has played out, and day two in the books as well. I want to read the report that we have up on uncrowned.com as you're looking at Conor McGregor and his lawyer, Karen Kessler, his father, Tony McGregor in the photos as well. I want to read this report and then get more intel on how day two went. Here it is, courtesy of uncrowned.com. Conor McGregor was present at Dublin's High Court on Tuesday to face a civil lawsuit pertaining to a sexual assault that is alleged to have happened in December 2018. Nikita Hand, 35, claims that she was sexually assaulted by McGregor and another man, James Lawrence, in a penthouse suite at the Beacon Hotel, Dublin, and is claiming civil damages from both. McGregor and Lawrence have both denied the accusations, and the former UFC champion's lawyers say Hand is attempting extortion. The trial began on Tuesday. As members of the jury were sworn in, Justice Alexander Owens told jurors that it is alleged that the man had, quote, in effect, raped her, end quote. Justice Owens also clarified that it is not a criminal case, but a civil case, meaning that if it is determined the assault happened, it is a civil wrong, and therefore the plaintiff is entitled to compensation. John Gordon, senior counsel for Hand, said Tuesday that his client knew McGregor as she is from the same area and is in the same age group and shares mutual friends with the UFC fighter. The court was told that McGregor collected Hand, a hairdresser, and a friend from their place of work on December 9th following a Christmas party. Hand understood that they were going to another party. They later went to the home of Lawrence, who joined them in the car. In the back of the car, Hand alleged that McGregor shared a bag of cocaine with her and her friend. McGregor, Lawrence, Hand, and her friend, McGregor's security team and others went to a penthouse suite at the Beacon Hotel. Hand told the court that the group had been drinking and laughing. At one point, Hand claims that McGregor told her to, quote, suck on that, end quote, as she was walking by a bathroom he was using. Later, Hand recalled being alone in a bedroom with McGregor, where she alleges she stopped him as he tried to make advances on her. Hand also claimed that she was on her period at the time of the alleged assault. Quote, I said, no, I don't feel comfortable. I know of Dee. I know of her family. Hand said, referring to McGregor's longtime fiancee, Dee Devlin. Later, Gordon told the court that his client, Hand, alleged she was, quote, completely unable to push McGregor off. He said jurors will see, quote, pictures of her hands and wrists, which are black and blue. You will see that her left breast also has a bloodied scratch. The scratch is there because she was wearing a watch and had her hands up to protect herself. She was pressed down, and the watch scarred her breast. There is much more about the details on uncrowned.com. You can read it right now. It's up on the website. Day two in the books as well. Petesy is in Dublin. This is obviously a huge story. What, if anything, can you tell us about day two, Petesy?
Today, Hand continued her testimony. Yesterday, they finished at 4 as she was just getting into the alleged assault. She was describing the encounter that happened. Again, she went into detail on that today. She alleges that, as she was being pressed down, she was choked a number of times. She eventually bit McGregor to stop the attack. She said her head was the only part of her body that could move. She recalled thinking that she was never going to see her daughter again. After that, we went through a lot of communications that Hand had with her friends. They were shown to the court. After lunch, there was a lot of CCTV shown, basically McGregor's movements, Hand's movements, Lawrence's movements, all throughout the day. She was later cross-examined by one of McGregor's counsel, and the main crux of what they were saying before it was adjourned for the day. It will be seated again tomorrow. I believe it will start around 10 a.m. or so, Irish time. But towards the end of the cross-examination, McGregor's counsel was taking Hand back to some testimony she made earlier in the day, stating that initially she didn't tell her partner what had happened. She was frazzled after the ordeal. She can't remember a lot of what happened afterwards. The encounter that she references with McGregor. And basically, she said she hadn't told her partner what had happened. The counsel were saying, well, you've lied here. It seems as though they're trying to underline the fact that she hadn't been truthful with her partner. A lot still here to play out. Again, McGregor and Lawrence deny all accusations that Hand is putting to them. And again, this is a civil court. There will be no criminal sanctions handed down, regardless of the verdict. Hand also outlined that she was let down by the DPP, which is the Director of Public Prosecutions. You'll remember a New York Times article in 2019, Ariel kind of saying the DPP were investigating this. She said she was let down by it. They said they didn't have sufficient evidence to prosecute at the time. That is why we are at this point pursuing civil damages as opposed to criminal damages.
And that is a question that I see being raised a lot. Why civil, not criminal? Is that the sole reason? They just felt like there wasn't enough evidence to pursue criminal charges?
Yes, the burden of proof would be on the DPP at that stage, and this is, as far as I know, this is quite a commonplace when it comes to this kind of assertion.
I completely understand that you're not you're not a lawyer. This isn't your usual beat. But how long do we expect this to last?
Up to 2 weeks, I believe. I think there is some hope that it will, be dealt with swifter than that. There's a lot of testimony to be said. It's very meticulous. I've been particularly staying glued to Paul Healy, who's doing a remarkable job for the Irish Mirror there. He's actually tweeting a thread every day, giving updates as they happen. I've been sharing them out every day. If you want to keep on top of it, blow by blow, he is a great man to follow for this.
And is there a chance that McGregor testifies?
Yes, yes.
And will he testify?
As far as I know, I've spoke to lawyers around the situation, and they believe he will. I obviously can't say 100% that is going to happen, but the feeling is that he will take the stand at some point during this.
And have they said what kind of damages they're seeking? What is at stake here for McGregor?
Counsel for Hand at the beginning referenced that 1 million in damages. I don't know the exact number. It has not been said much beyond that, but that was the initial claim from Hand's counsel, I believe, when they were basically saying that McGregor's lawyers feel this is all an extortion. They're trying to extort 1 million out of him for this. He also said, they think she's a gold digger, things like this at the very beginning of proceedings on Tuesday.
How is it being covered in Ireland? What is the mood, was the temperature from the media and also from the public?
I have just been blown up constantly since it started. It's all over all of the newspapers. It's been on 6 o'clock news. It's regular radio bulletins, everything. It is big news here. It will be no surprise to anyone who's listening to this show that McGregor is one of the most famous Irish people ever at this point.
Yeah.
And a situation like this is going to be massive.
And he hasn't said anything, right? Like there's no sound of him walking out, and sometimes they'll speak to the media. He hasn't said it. I've seen the photos and the videos of him walking in and out, but I haven't seen any comment from him or his team.
No, I think we will hear his side of things as things progress here. The only claims, the only people who have spoke to their side of things so far is Hand's counsel. So it will be disingenuous for me to say this is what they think, this is what they see the situation as.
All right. Well, appreciate that, Petesy. It continues. I suppose it's 6:30 over in Dublin now. So day 2 is over, right?
It's finishing most days at 11 a.m. your time.
Okay.
That's when the court finishes. So basically, as you guys are going to get your lunch, it's done for the day. And again, if you go to Irish Mirror and you go to Paul Healy's articles, at the end of every day, he will have a full rundown of what's happened and the key moments from each day. I think it's a very valuable resource during this court case.
All right. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching this video. Hey, before you go, do me a favor, hit that sub button, give us a thumbs up, hit the little bell thingy as well. Leave us a nice comment or two. We appreciate you all very much.